Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing look number 4 with the Wet n Wild Always Naked palette. If you haven't seen the other looks I've done with this, I'll have the playlist linked above. But today I decided to do an all matte makeup look. So the eyeshadow is matte and all the other products that I used on my face are also matte. Except for the foundation, it's kind of more of a skin finish foundation, but let's just go ahead and jump into the tutorial. I did do my foundation and eyebrows off camera, so I will have the products that I use listed and linked down in the description box. So to start with the eyes, I'm going to first go ahead and prime with the Milani eyeshadow primer. Just put it all the way at the lash line, all the way up to the brow bone. And I'm going to be using this color here and this blending brush from the Amazon brush set. And then I'm just going to blend the shade into the crease, pointing the brush upward. So I'm going to be blending it slightly above the crease. I'm just going to go in a couple of times to build the shade up, but I focus it mostly here in the outer V, and then I take what's left and then brush it in towards this way. So just blending it here with little circular motions, little windshield wiper motions. Then I'm taking the pencil brush from that set, using that same brown shade, and I'm going to smudge that color here. Make sure you tap the brush off well. I'm just going to smudge that shade here on the lower lash line and connect it with the shade that I used in the crease and outer V. Then I'm taking the Sigma E25 blending brush and I'm going to grab some of this shade here, tap off the brush, and then I'm just going to focus this right here in the outer V. And also take a little bit of that shade on like the last little bit of my eyelid here. Just blending it up this way and then taking some of it in towards this way to create like a V shape right out here. Then I'm going back with my blending brush, nothing added to it, just to blend around the edge of that dark brown. Then I'm taking some more of that dark brown on that pencil brush, and I'm also going to blend some of that here on the lower lash line, but I'm just going to take it from here back, connecting it to the outer V color up top. Next, I'm taking the flat shader brush from that Amazon brush set, and then I'm going to use the matte cream out of this palette. This shade is pretty powdery, so just make sure you tap the brush off well. And then I'm just going to place that color here on the eyelid. Then I'm going to take this angled brush from e.l.f., getting more of that matte cream color, and I'm just going to put that here in the inner corner of my eye. And I'm also going to take a little bit more of that color and brush it here underneath the brow bone. If you wanted to keep this eyeshadow look cool toned, you could skip this step, but I do want to add just a little bit of warmth. So if you are more of a warm skin tone, you probably want to do this step just to warm it up a little bit. But I'm going to go in with this shade up here. And I just put that shade here on the blending brush, and I'm going to brush this color at the top of my crease. You could also use your bronzer. And it's not going to look super warm. Like overall, this is more of a cool toned eyeshadow look. But I don't know if you can see the difference between like this eye and this one, how that just warmed it up ever so slightly. For the blush, I'm going to keep it matte, and I'm going to be using this Tarte blush in Natural Beauty, which is a really pretty rosy, like berry red shade. It's almost like a strawberry kind of color. It just looks so beautiful. It gives you like the most natural flush. And I'm just using the Sigma F40 to blend out this blush. And it's pretty pigmented, so you don't need like a ton of it. I mean, unless you want super rosy cheeks. Like this is like a Snow White blush to me. Like this is a blush Snow White would have used. And for my bronzer, I'm just going to be using the Maybelline City Bronzer in 100. This is a really great bronzer if you're fair. And I found that it's not like too cool toned or too warm toned. It's just a good neutral bronzer. This is also completely matte. I'm just taking a little bit there on my nose, and then I'll take a little bit here on the sides of my face. If you wanted to keep things extra matte, you could use a setting spray like this L'Oreal Infallible 3-Second Setting Mist. This doesn't add any shine. This is going to tone down the powders, and it's going to make more of like a skin finish type of look, which is what I want. I don't want to look overly matte because I feel like I look pretty matte right now because we've used all matte products. So I'm going to use the Scandinavia, but if you have a tendency to get really oily, or if you just like a really matte look, definitely use that L'Oreal Infallible Setting Mist. And you'll see like once this dries down that it's going to give my skin just a slight dewy appearance, nothing like too crazy. And then I'm just going to curl up my lashes and apply my mascara. And I'm just going to be using like a combination of these two mascaras, the Maybelline Lash Sensational and the Revlon Color Stay Full-Time Mascara. Okay, so I hope you can see like with the finish of everything, like it's still matte, but it's not like too crazy overly matte. So like that setting spray just added just a little bit of dewiness to the skin, just toned down the powders. I went ahead and applied just a little bit of this Vaseline Rosy Lips. I want my lips to be a little bit moisturized before I go in with my lipstick. I wanted to keep the matte theme going, so I wanted to use this Wet n Wild Mega Lash lipstick in Cinnamon Spice, which is a really pretty kind of brick red. It pairs nicely with this blush. So first I'm just going to go ahead and line my lips with this Revlon Color Stay Long Wearing Lip Liner in Raisin. Okay, and then I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Cinnamon Spice. That lip liner pairs so nicely with this lip color, like they match so well. So just an all matte, more cool tone, kind of like neutral cool tone, but I think this is such a classic makeup look. I mean, it looks beautiful in the fall and winter, but you could wear this any time of the year. I think it's just so, so pretty. So I hope that you guys enjoyed look number 4 with the Wet n Wild Always Naked palette. And I'm planning on doing at least 2 more looks with this palette. I hope that you guys have a great week. Thank you for sticking to the end of this video. Thank you for spending time with me today. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.